Welcome, everybody. It's great to be back with you. And just like Debbie said, I just completed a move. We downsized to a smaller house. So things are kind of congested here. So I'm constantly now looking for things that I know I have, but I don't know where they are. So tonight, Debbie asked me to present something on the live, and I haven't done things with smart sheets in a little while, believe it or not. So I thought, what can I do with a smart sheet that we haven't done before? So I found some of my scraps. Stacy, see my scraps? I don't throw any away. So my scrap I'm going to take tonight, and then we're going to paint on it. And it's an easy technique, so don't be freaked out when I tell you we're going to paint. Stacy, if you can go ahead and flip that camera, I'm going to show them what we're going to be doing. We're going to actually make this cookie. And there, you can do it in any color that you want. I simply used like a brown, maybe a dark brown, a little bit of black, the semi-white, some yellow, and moss. But again, you can use any color that you want. And so I featured my little ghost here in the middle. The way that I made this is that I took the vintage frame mold that I got from Nicholas Lodge years ago. And I love this because you can put your cookie dough directly into here and bake it. Or if you're going to make several of them, you can freeze it and then pop those out, put them in the freezer until you're ready, and then bake all of them at once. It holds all of this great texture in the cookie. So I've made them with construction gingerbread, and tonight's cookies, I just used a regular sugar cookie dough. Okay. So again, this comes in actually two sizes. I used the larger one for tonight, but it comes in two sizes. Okay. And so this is what we get after we bake the cookie. So we got a simple frame mold that we're going to be adding the canvas into the frame. Now you can choose any design that you want. I wanted to go with the ghost theme and make it really simple. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do though is this black around the frame. I used Susan's Fluff and Stuff, and I use it in a very thin manner. It's a glaze, and I put a little bit of black into that glaze, and then I simply paint it onto my frame. So we're going to go ahead and get that part started so that that glaze can have a time to dry. So again, I just take a little bit of my royal icing. So I'm just going to take a small amount, put it into my bowl. It's already pretty thin. This is a thin flood, but I'm going to thin it down a little bit more by just simply adding a little bit of water to it, because I want to be able to paint that on. And then I'm going to add 1 drop of super black, and you can use any brand that you want. So just drop that in. And then I'm going to take one of my brushes that I'm going to be painting that on with and mix this up and get it to the color that you want. It's going to dry a little bit lighter than what I have in here, and that's okay. You can make it darker, you can make it lighter. And then once it's dry, I'm going to put on Bling highlighter that's been mixed with a little bit of Turkish black powder, because I didn't want it to be stark and gold. I wanted it to be more of an antique look. So again, I just used an old brush, a wider one, and I'm going to paint that on. And since it is thin, it's not going to take very long for it to dry. Now, I'm not going to worry about the inside of the frame where the picture is going to go, because I'm going to attach the canvas frame with white royal icing. And this just takes a few minutes to get all of that into the crevices good. And then I'll simply set that off to the side and allow it to dry. Now you can put these into the dehydrator if you want to at 95 degrees for about 10 minutes, and it'll be perfect to continue with. or you can put a fan on it. But again, it's very thin, so it's not going to take a long time for that to dry. And normally I would just do this about halfway, but tonight we're going to go the whole distance here, and then I'm going to paint the little scrap of the Smart Sheet, and I'm just going to be using gel colors tonight and a small disposable brush for the most part, and then some of my older paint brushes. Now, all of my brushes that I use are acrylic brushes, and they're not natural hair brushes. Okay, so you don't want to use that because you still want it to be food safe. Now, if this were a competition piece, you could certainly use any kind of paintbrush that you want because it's not going to be for consumption. Can everybody see that okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. And the great thing about this Fluff and Stuff meringue powder, it is very, very good. So it doesn't take much to get that great flavor. So even though I'm painting this on there thin, it's still going to make my cookie really nice and pleasant tasting. It has a vanilla flavor to it, but it's not overpowering and it's not too sweet. I used the Fluff and Stuff today on a bunch of cookies that I dipped. Yes, I dipped them, Debbie.
Becky not like getting her hands dirty, and she hates the feeling of like the meringue powder. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just ugh.
She's
It's kind of
weird.
like
She's weird.
cornstarchy.
Yeah, she doesn't like that feeling, and she's so particular about her the edges being perfect. We finally talked her into following methods, and those tutorials, by the way, are on our website. If you click on the little Susan picture on the top of the page, it'll take you to those tutorials from her that are amazing. And Becky is now a dipper. Officially.
It's really fast. And I had watched several other videos on how to dip, and I just never could get the hang of it. And so when I watched Susan and she walked me through it, it was like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been doing this?
And
And I just want to
Sue,
clean up the excess here. Okay. All right.
Sue
So this is
Edlin
all
is
painted.
actually dipping right now as we speak in the Fluff and Stuff.
So I'm going to set that off to the side so that will dry for us. Okay. Now I'm going to take a clean paper towel and I'm going to set my scrap piece of Smart Sheet. Now the Smart Sheets have a textured side and a smooth side. You can't really see that on that white, so I'll change that out. So the smooth side is going to give you more of a high definition look. If you were to print on this or paint on this side, the other side that's textured is going to give you more of a canvas look. And that's what I'm going to be using tonight is the canvas side because I like this old world look on this cookie. Okay, so again, the first thing you need to do is figure out what it is that you want to put on your cookie, what design. Find something that you like, and then just go for it. If you mess up, it's okay. Just tell everybody it's an abstract painting. There is no wrong or right when you're painting. It's just if you don't like the way that it looks, then eat it. Right?
I'd never make it in the cookie world.
All right, so the Smart Sheet is pretty dry. It feels like watercolor sheets and almost a copy paper feel. So we're going to condition it up just a little bit to start painting on it so it's not quite as tough. And I use Paper Potion and just do a little quick spray on the front and back. And then I'm going to take a wet paintbrush and start mixing a few little colors in here. I don't know if you can see my paint palette. Let me move that. So again, you can use any paint palette that you want. You can use a disposable towel. You can use acrylic sheets, whatever you have on hand. It's okay. Okay. Now, for this, I'm going to add a little bit of water to my colors here so that I can blend them around better. Okay. You could also use dilution solution. And I think I heard you say Simi was on here. So I don't know if she can answer if she has any dilution solution in stock.
I think we do.
Do you have some?
I think we do. I'll tell you in a second.
Okay. That stuff is fun
Does
to
paper
use.
potion work that way for you as well?
Yes.
As a let's see.
Then again, so I just want to add a little bit of color to the background. And that's going to get all of that area damp so that I can move those colors around. And don't be afraid to play with the colors. And the great thing is I'm going to get this wet and then my colors are really going to blend in. Okay, so all of that smart sheet now is pretty well wet. Okay, so you don't want to scrub it too hard because it'll start taking the texture off. So now I'm going to take this tiny brush and I'm going to start adding some colors for my design. So let's get a little bit of the moss green and a tiny bit of the brown. We're going to mix those up.
Kathy Lorenzo wants to know if it's okay for her to try dipping, but you have to say it's okay, Becky.
Do it, do it, do it.
And Fred wanted to know which side you were painting on, the smooth or the rough side.
I'm painting on the textured side, Fred.
Rough.
But you can paint on either side. I just wanted that old world look tonight. Okay.
And what's nice is how well it handles the moisture.
Yes.
The smart. It's kind of what it's known for.
And just start out just doing some squiggles wherever you want them. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I think you got the cutter from Nicholas Lodge a while ago, right?
I did.
Yeah.
But the last time I looked, they were still on his on the website. But it is a Katie Sue mold. And they last forever. You can use them in the oven. You can actually pour isomalt into them. You can put it in the dishwasher. So they're very versatile and have a lot of texture to them.
And Crystal Niffen said, for those of you who print your own paint palettes for PYO sets, do you use smart or icing sheets? And it would be smart sheets because the
Smart
icing sheet will
sheets.
melt.
And they hold up really well. So you can continue filling this in until you get the look that you're going for, kind of a eerie, spooky walk where this little ghost is going down the the wooded area. And the great thing about this, Deb, is once you get it painted onto your smart sheet and let it dry, if you are lucky enough to have an edible printer, you can take a photo of this and then print these out onto your smart sheets, and you could duplicate this over and over and over. Let me show you what I did with some real quick.
Oh, that's cool. So do you just painted it?
Yes, I painted it,
and then
and then I took a
copied
picture
it.
of it. And again, with the blues, you can use any format. And I just saved this as a PNG file. And then I was able to print those out. And you can change the size of them with your printer. So you could actually do this on a number of different things. Okay. Now you don't want to scrub it too hard because again, you'll disrupt the way that your smart sheet looks and you'll tear it. So what I wanted to do here is add a little bit of the semi-base white onto a toothbrush. And then I'm just going to flick that on there. Okay, can y'all see that?
Yep.
And the semi-base white is a phenomenal white. It doesn't fade when you put it on your cookies. And it has the capability of painting over other colors. So then I can go back in here and I can add my little ghost. I may hear my dog start yelling in a minute. He's in there in his kennel.
I thought that was you.
That's Dawn.
Don, yeah.
Poor Dawn. Okay, so we'll let the little ghost dry a little bit, and then I'll go back and put some highlights around him and put some eyes on him and that sort of thing. But I want that to dry just a little bit. So I'm going to get a different style brush. And I'm going to add a little bit more color to everything. And I say more color, it's basically earth tones, right? And I am not a painter, so I just play with this and get it to look the way that I want it to. You're so quiet.
Julie Baker wants to know, what paper do you prefer to use on royal cookies, smart sheets, icing sheets, or flex frost?
It depends on what you're doing. If you're making a lace, the Flex Frost is phenomenal. If you're adding photos or different things, you can use the smart sheets. If you're embossing, the smart sheet is perfect. The icing sheets work well too if you can print on those. But I love printing on the smart sheets with my blue printer.
I bet you do. You love smart sheets.
I do. I was so happy last week when she did the embossing.
I know. She's watching. Patrina was on last week, and you
She
can
was
catch her rerun
so
live.
good.
She did a great job.
She did. It was awesome.
And just a reminder for those who are watching, if you are thinking about going to Canada's Baking and Sweet Show this weekend, then we are giving away tickets. I just need to know if you are. It's going to be a blast.
Is it too late not to go?
No, it's never
What
too
if
late. It hasn't happened yet.
what if I decided I wanted to?
Then I'll give you tickets. Ah, tickets. And you will make
Somebody's
so
got.
many people happy, and you can come and celebrate my birthday with me. We're staying
Oh man,
Tuesday. Yeah, it's my birthday. You be my birthday present.
there you go. I don't think I can talk my husband into it.
Just ask for forgiveness. Just go. He's an understanding guy.
He is. He's a good guy. Okay, so again, I'm
Hmm.
going to take some of that semi-white and add it to my little sketch trees here. Stacy's awful quiet on here too, isn't he?
I know. It's like, what the heck is going on with him?
What's he up to?
Trouble. We do that semi-white. I was just looking to see to confirm. On sale at our website. I'm going to put the link up, guys. It's phenomenal. And I know you've tried lots of white stuff. Sydney, I
Yeah,
know you're, or I'm calling, why don't you tell us why that Simi White is the best white ever? What's so special about it?
because it works.
Wow.
So you get the
Oh,
idea. This is a quick little 15-20 minute cookie that you can do. And you could actually stay all day here playing with it, adding stuff to it. If you look at the one that I did originally, if you look right up here, and this was a Bob Ross happy moment. If you look right up here, I have a little owl that appeared. And I wasn't trying for that. It just happened that the squiggles turned into an owl.
can you show us a little bit closer
Hmm. Oh,
away
hang
from you
on.
there? Away from you.
I
There
got
you
a
go.
little bit of a lag. Hang on. See him up
Oh, I
there?
see. Yep.
Isn't that fun?
It's awesome. The
You know, it
squiggle
takes such
owl.
little things to make me happy.
It's the squiggle owl.
Yeah.
It's a rare
Okay.
species.
It's the Norton owl.
The Norton owl is only
And
found.
it's only found in my backyard on the golf course. And then you just keep adding to get the definition that you want.
What is your favorite thing to do with a smart sheet?
Um, embossing.
I knew you were going to say that. Mhm.
But it's so versatile with everything. And make sure when you're using them that you do not throw away your scraps. Because I could take all
Yep.
of these scraps that I have laying around, I can put them into a food grinder, coffee grinder type thing, and
Hmm.
I can make edible snow with it.
So
And
there's
if you
never
haven't,
any.
there's no waste. Okay, so can you see the little ghost? Deb, can you see the ghost?
Yeah, I'm looking at the screen. I need to make my screen bigger, is what I need to do, because I have too many things, because I have to watch everything. That's why I was just like, there we go. I can see better now. Oh, yeah.
So you get the idea, right?
Yeah. That's crazy how fast it came together.
Yeah. And again, like I said, you can take your phone and now snap a picture of this and then remove the background from around it. And then you can print those all off like I showed you. And another thing that you can do is while you're allowing your stuff to dry, I went ahead and put some marshmallows onto my big blue. Oh, it's not a big blue, it's a baby blue.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Can you
anyway,
hold
I
the,
put the
bring
marshmallows
it up
on there.
closer? Can you bring
Uh-huh.
it up closer to the camera? That's cool.
So then you've got marshmallows, s'mores that is going to match your cookies. You can also decrease the size of this print and actually print on M&Ms as well. You can print on cake. You can print on cupcakes. You can have your whole theme around this little ghost. Okay. So
Crystal,
now let
you
me.
knew you were going to pick embossing too.
Thanks, sister. But you know, there you can do so many things with the smart sheet, so you can't go wrong with any of it. Okay, so
Yeah.
now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more of my fluff and stuff. See, a little bit thinner than Flood. That I'm just going to swipe on here to the frame, the inside of the frame, and this is my glue that's going to hold my print down. Now you could put all the prints down and then go back and paint all of your frames, but this is just a little bit easier, and you don't have to be careful so you don't get it onto your print. Okay. Now, even though this is still damp, I'm going to go ahead and put it on here and use my little tool here to smooth it out. All all dry. So now what I'm going to do is I took some of the Bling highlighter in the gold. Can you see that, Deb?
Yeah. I was going over to get the link. Yep, there you go. And I'm getting the link for y'all.
Okay, thanks. Okay,
You're
and then
welcome.
all I did is add a little bit of black dusting powder. And tonight I used Turkish black and added in with that gold powder because I wanted more of an old look instead of that bright gold. And I put it in separate little containers, and then I just put the lid back on it because the alcohol is going to evaporate. And then I just labeled this old world gold. Okay. And then you're just going to hit the highlights with it. And then another great tool that you can use besides a paintbrush. Now, remember when you put your paintbrushes into the metallics, you're going to designate them as metallic brushes from then on because it's very, very difficult to get all that out. Okay, so I don't like to take a lot of time with stuff. So sometimes I just put it on my glove finger and then I'm just going to add it to it. And you can see that the frame has a lot of texture to it. But if I wanted to go in and completely cover this with the gold, you can. And you'll get a different look. Another thing you could do is you could go back in with your royal icing and then add little dots to the top of these dots on the frame to give it some more dimension and then paint those. So remember, don't throw away your scraps.
Never.
Because at any given moment, somebody could ask you to make a cookie that you didn't know that you were going to be making, and you can reuse them for something. Okay? And then, with it done like this, you can sell this cookie as a feature cookie. So you can increase your price on it. It looks like you've taken a long time, but you really haven't. Now, if I were going to be using a brown on this frame, I could use the silver paint, and it looks fabulous as well.
What would you charge for a cookie like that?
This one is actually about a 4.5 by 3, and it's a hand painted piece. So you get it. Let's say you sell your regular ones for $5 a piece. This one could go double that, even more so, depending on the area that you're in. And you can set this on a little easel, a little wooden easel, as a focal point in your cookies setup. So it looks like an art piece. When I showed it to Mary Ridley, not a bee, the other day, she said, "Oh, I want to hang that on my wall."
I have some cookies that you gave me that are hanging on, well, they're sitting in a shadow box.
That was your Christmas set.
Yep, love them.
Okay. So that was relatively easy. Don't you agree?
I would agree.
And again, you could go back and you could paint these in primary colors. You could do a fun little cartoon character for a child's birthday party. And then do your frame in a fun primary color or a silver or the gold, the bright gold. All right. So that
Problems getting
is
to
how
see
long it
all
actually took.
Oh, sorry.
What'd you say?
I'm having problems seeing all my comments on Facebook, so I'm looking under the other way. So if
Okay.
I miss something, you know that, but I can see most of them. It's just being weird.
Okay. I'll go back and double check as well.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to try painting on the smart sheets. And if you don't like the way that it looks, you have not attached it to your cookie yet. So just get another and try it again.
Or just eat it.
You know, I have to be careful when I leave scraps around. If any of them fall on the floor, my dog goes nuts over them.
That's so funny. Okay, I see what happened. It's switched again. It keeps giving me the most relevant, and I'm like, no, I want all of them, and that's why I can't find them. I'm like, come on, what's going on, man? Now I can see. Oh,
Man,
now it's on new.
after we moved and all of my stuff updated, I
Uh-huh.
could not, for the life of me, get into Facebook anymore. It was like this foreign object when you looked at it on the screen.
Yeah, I understand. I have these
And
problems
then
all.
I was taking some video of some steps that I was doing on a cookie, and I finished, and there was three separate videos, and it combined all three of them into one. Like every other second was part of the first or second or third movie. It's like, what in the world? I mean, I know reels are supposed to be crazy, but this was beyond crazy.
Yeah.
You know, another thing that I could do with this cookie to add a little
Hmm.
bit more bling is to use the highlighter spray. Let me grab
Hmm.
that for you. This would be a perfect one to spray. And on this one, it is the black moonstone.
Yep.
Okay. And this one is very
I love
interesting
that
when you
spray.
put it on things. It'll pick up the darker areas and highlight it more black. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it pops when you do that. So if you haven't tried that, I would suggest doing that. And then there's also another one. Look at me. I'm a salesperson tonight. There's a gold iridescent. And this, when depending on what color your cookie base is going to depend on what color this highlighter or this iridescent shows up. If I put it on pink cookies, it has more of a rose tint to it. But if I put it on blue cookies, it's more of a sapphire look.
It's really pretty amazing. I love that dust. That was one of my
Yeah.
favorite things.
So I would highly suggest you try this. I had every color of the rainbow in these sprays from other companies. And this one now is the only one I pretty much use. Because again, it changes with the color of the cookie that you're doing.
It's iridescent.
It is eerie.
Just in time for Halloween.
Yes. So, any questions about anything?
I think I've got them. I have two sources for the questions, so I think I grabbed all of them. But if you could bring your cookie up again closer, just so we can see
Yep.
it. Oh, there we go, right there.
He's got a
There you go.
little
Everyone
bit
get a
of
good look. It's gorgeous. And I would kind of like tilt it a little bit around so maybe they can pick up some of that iridescent dust. I'm not sure if they will.
yeah, I've got a little bit of a delay. I'm doing that, but it's gonna have to catch up to us.
So Jill wants to know, well, first she said it's seriously cute. And she says, thank you. May she ask what 3D printer the crowd prefers